Yet another JNU scholar has been booked today by the Delhi police. Sajib Bin Sayed, well, he has been charged this time around with promoting hate and enmity. Now this after he tweeted a slanderous remark against the Indian Army. So Times now has accessed the FIR copy of that. We are going to go across to Nikunj Garg, our editor for internal security. He's managed to access that FIR copy for us so he can explain to us what are the specific charges that have been slapped against Sajib Bin Sayed. Now remember, all of this has come to the light at the time when already there's a lot of scanner and focus on JNU and several such scholars in the past as well who've been slapped with sedition, be it Kanhaiya Kumar, Umar Khalid, and of course of late there was Sharjeel Imam as well. And now another one who seems to have joined their ranks is that of Sajid Bin Sayed. He's the president of the Campus Front of India, and he's made some remarks against the Indian Army, blaming them for what he calls a genocide in Kashmir. Now this has not gone down too well. There was a complaint filed against him, and which has now resulted in an FIR. Let me go across to Nikunj Garg, who joins us with the details. Can you tell us about the specific charges against him, Nikunj?
Well, yes, Meghna, quite clearly the Delhi police believes that this is insidious stuff, and they also believe that this can result in fissures, stroke hatred, stroke trouble between community organizations, because Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh RSS is named in the first information report also, and that is why the Delhi police in its wisdom has used section 153 of the CRPC, which deals with promoting hatred between communities, organizations, groupings, a set of individuals, etc. So they certainly think that if this kind of tweet is picked up by anti-India elements like Pakistan and Pakistan ISI-backed cabals, then certainly it has the potential of going viral on the social media platforms. And remember, social media platforms these days are the biggest source of any kind of trouble or mischief in the society, with which the entire law enforcement apparatus has been grappling with. And to nip this trouble in the bud, they have most likely registered this FIR. And I'm quite sure that they would do all what is required in right earnest to ensure that this does not create any further mischief either between the...
But Nikunj, there are those who would say, why is it that we've seen what many would call a trend, making such insidious comments against the Indian Army, sometimes against India as a nation as well, which seems to happen time and again, specifically from scholars from JNU?
Well, Meghna, that's a valid question that many people will ask, and that would be certainly quite a robust number in the society who would ask this question, that what is it that in the name of the freedom of speech, under the overarching umbrella of freedom of speech, people associated with one particular set of universities in this country. You may call them subaltern universities, but they are mainstream in so many ways, are always indulging in trying to tarnish the image of the organizations like Indian Army or the paramilitary forces with whom the nation is really proud of. And the issue here, Meghna, largely is that even if people are dissatisfied, even if people have points of view, there is no harm in having a counter view against the Indian Army's ways of operations. But that should be substantiated with facts, and there should not be any overarching commentary of accusing them of things that they're not indulging in. So that is the crisis here.
And in fact, you mentioned how there needs to be a distinction drawn, especially when it comes to social media, between what could be termed as something which is insidious versus that of freedom of speech. In this case specifically, can you explain to us why this is not falling under the ambit of freedom of speech? That is something that the lobby loves to defend such people with.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I was saying, Meghna, the fact remains that if you have facts, the facts out, let the facts speak for themselves. Do not, under the umbrella of freedom of speech, try to insinuate, use innuendos, malign reputations, and particularly of the organizations, disciplined organizations like Indian Army, who are largely in no position to defend themselves. Individual officials, individual officers, retired veterans can do it in their individual capacity, but army or any paramilitary force as an institution cannot rebut these charges in public domain. That is not under the remit of the work profile that they do. So targeting somebody who cannot reply to you in the language that you are using is most likely, and many would see it, neutral observers would see, is this targeting people who do not, because of their disciplined work culture, can certainly fall victim to what a campaign that you run. And that is what my sense is, that
Right.
the law enforcement apparatus is trying to nip in the bud here by registering this.